Hello and welcome back to my channel where I'm a futurist and this is my journal. Hope everyone's doing well. Hope you're doing great. Go ahead and like this video. Go ahead and smash that subscribe button and leave a comment. Just say, yo, what's good? And if you don't do that, and especially if you don't wait and listen to the entire video, I promise you that your boyfriend or girlfriend will break up with you at exactly 3 p.m. sharp. Tomorrow. That is a promise. Hey, look, it's going to happen. So go ahead to avoid that. Go ahead and just like, comment, subscribe. That's all I'm asking. That is all I'm asking for you today. So today I really want to discuss Batman. Well, not really. I want to talk about the new upcoming video game Gotham Knights. I love video games. I adore video games. I want to talk about video games way more than I do right now just because I love them. I love them. Seriously, have for a very long time. And I'm a huge Batman fan, so naturally I'm excited for this new game coming up, Gotham Knights. Now, spoiler alert, Batman's dead. At least that's what they told us in the trailer. So with that being said, I want to talk about certain things I want to see from the story, and certain things I don't want to see from this game, what I want to explore, what I don't want to explore, and what I want to be left out of the game. That's I'll get to that. But let's just hop right into it. So, Gotham Knights. So, with that being said, the Bat family is reeling from the fact that Batman is dead. He's gone. Poof. He croaked. We don't know the full story behind it, but that's all we know for right now. And they're going to have to be the protectors of Gotham. And I'm excited for it. I'm ecstatic because it explores a new avenue of the Bat family, of the Bat mantra, the Bat label, whatever you want to say, and what he stands for, what he stood for, and what he stands for. There will always be a Batman. That's what he inspired. That's what he instilled in his family members, the Bat family. So I want to see how they do without Dad, essentially. And what's interesting about Barbara Gordon is that her dad passed away, so kind like Batman, Bruce was kind of a father figure. He was kind of a father figure to all of them. So I would love in this story to explore what happens without Batman. How do we've seen it in comic books, but we've never seen it in this type of setting where we can directly manipulate the story, or at the very least be involved and ingratiated in the story. So I'm really excited to see that. I would love to see that, but I don't want to just see that from the family members. I don't want to just see that from Alfred losing a son. I don't want to see that from Dick Grayson having to deal with losing his father, but also grow into the leadership role that Bruce has been grooming him for from the beginning. I also want to see Jason Todd dealing with the loss of a father figure that he had issues with. I mean, that was the closest thing he had to a father, but he had problems. They had issues. I just love Jason Todd. I just hope they don't ruin him like they did in Arkham Knight. But, and also Tim Drake. Explore him. Like, very few people know about Tim Drake in general. If you don't read the comic books, you don't really know about Tim Drake very much because he's not all we know is, the most popular ones. There's Robins, are Dick Grayson, Jason Todd because he's the one who died, and lastly, Damian Wayne, because obviously that's his son. So those are the only Robins that have been explored, at the very least in cinema. And when I say cinema, I also mean TV shows, I also mean animated shows, and all that kind of stuff. So I would love to see those characters explored, as well as Barbara Gordon. I love Barbara Gordon. I love me some Barbara. So, and I also want to see how she reacts with Dick and how she's there for Dick and Dick is there for her. So safe to say there's plenty of things I want to see from this game, just between like inter-squad relations, and I would love to see that explored throughout the story, and how they have to basically all be Batman because Gotham needs them to be. And also that kind of leads me into Gotham, the city, but also Gotham the character. This is the first time, from my understanding, that Gotham won't be evacuated like in the other Arkham games. So I'm excited to see that dynamic of how they actually have to save people, how they have to avoid collateral damage. So I'm stoked for that. But also, in Scott Snyder, in one of my favorite runs, And this game is kind of inspired by that run, I suppose, because of what do you call it? Because of the comic books, his comic book run, and the Court of Owls, is how Gotham is a character itself. How in the beginning of, and I'm going to talk about this at some point when I get some time, midterms coming up, so not going to be anytime soon, how Batman first thought of Gotham as his, how he is his possession, his city. But then how it kind of switched, how Batman is Gotham and Gotham is Batman. It's super exciting, super interesting. So go ahead and check that out if you haven't. You can go to Read Comic Online, and they have the whole series there right for you to read. So go ahead and check that out once you get a chance. But I want to see how Gotham reels or reacts to Batman's death, because this is huge. It's not something you just gloss over. Batman is the main character of the story. Batman is the main character of pretty much every Batman story, but he's the main character of this story by virtue of not being present. His death, his absence, as this man holds everything together, means that there's so many different stories and avenues to explore here. I'm a big story guy. I love stories. The best video games to me are the stories that engross me the most that make me grow with the character, make me feel. So, and also with that being said, I want to see, I know this is not the most popular opinion, but I do want to see the Joker. I absolutely would love to see the Joker. I would love to see him throughout the story. Not obviously a main character, but I would love, or not even a main villain, but I would just love to see how he reacts to Bruce's death, because they have a very interesting relationship. It was even explored, it was especially explored in the Arkham series. Especially explored throughout the whole series, how they're like the whole game series was basically explaining their relationship to each other, what they mean to each other. You can even hear from Arkham City and Arkham Knight, Kevin Conroy. I met him, by the way, super cool guy. Kevin Conroy, how he shifted his voice. It became darker and lower and more menacing, but also sad. Like a part of him died. It was super, super interesting. Now, so we saw what happened when Joker dies. Spoiler alert, Batman Arkham City, Joker dies. So we see what happens when Joker dies, but what happens to Joker when Batman dies? What happens then? We've seen it explored a little bit in the comic books, but not much. I want to see it in this platform where I can experience it in a very unique way. So I want to see that. I want to see these characters interacting with each other. I also want to see the relationship between the Bat family, but the relationship between the Bat family and villains. Now, with that being said, scratching my head here, I am a pessimist. Okay. Especially lately, I have very little faith. Why? Because of one man, Mitch Dyer. Now, he has worked on a lot of projects, and a lot of them flopped, got to be honest with you. Like Battlefront 2, flopped, you know what I mean? So, and that's just to name one. But the reason why I'm apprehensive is that this guy likes to put societal commentary in stories. And that's actually not bad. The best stories have something to say about society. I'm not saying that at all. But I don't like the way he does it. Here's what I mean. So there's a character. He is gay. You should like this character because he is gay. It's like that type of stuff. And that doesn't make, I don't like that. So I'm supposed to like this character and like this story by virtue of it being a story about a homosexual man or a homosexual female, or about a female lead. I know the logic and the hearing of these people, and people in general, but these people specifically, social justice warriors and a lot of the feminists and all that kind of stuff. There's some wiring missing. Meaning that they struggle to listen with their ears and their brain. They listen with their heart instead of with their ears. They don't receive input in their ears and then it goes straight to their heart. Instead of going to their brain, because they can't categorize. It just doesn't make any sense, and it frustrates me. So I want to avoid that. Now, the Court of Owls itself is interesting because we're seeing that now. Like there's a worldwide secret society. Okay, same thing as Court of Owls. I don't know if it's worldwide, but I do know it's Gotham. It's a secret society of socialites in Gotham who've been running things from the beginning. That's interesting. That's been explored in the comic books. It was introduced by my favorite in my favorite run of Batman, by Scott Snyder in 2011, I believe, the New 52. So, like that's good societal commentary. Where there's clearly a secret society. We've heard them by many names. I made a video about it, but YouTube took it down. We're not going to talk about that today. So, I don't want to see that. Honestly, I don't care about that. I want a great story that explores these themes that was set up by this trailer, and I want to see these characters. I want this to be a character story. Again, I'm apprehensive because of, Mitch Dyer, but I'm also apprehensive because of WB Montreal. I'm one of the few who actually enjoyed playing Batman Arkham City or Arkham Origins. I love that game. That's one of my favorite games. But there was a big legal battle. They had a huge legal battle trying to patent their menace system for the villains. I don't know how that's going to play out. And because they spend millions of dollars trying to patent, this system of theirs in this video game, I don't know if that's going to take precedent over the story itself. And also it possibly being an online game and you playing with multiple people. And I don't know. I'm apprehensive about that. So if with the story, I like stories that are free flowing. I love the Telltale games. Very interesting, very free. I can kind of choose what I would want to say and react from there. But the problem with the setting is that you can choose to do certain missions with certain characters. Like you can do Dick Grayson and Barbara Gordon, for example, or you can do any kind of mix of them. So I'm a little worried as to how the dialogue will play out, because are you just going to have pre-scripted things for them to say, or is the dialogue going to change depending on the group of people, depending on the partners who are going on this mission? Because if it changes, like because a relationship dynamic changes, obviously the dialogue changes, and then the strategy changes. Then that has great replay value. I'm super excited about that. Like that is a brilliant idea, and I'll be playing this game for years to come because it'll be that interesting. Just like one of my favorite video games, Detroit Become Human. You can change and pick and choose how you want the story to flow and go. Not to rhyme here. So I think it's a great idea, and I think that would work amazingly well. But it just depends on how they decide to do it. They can go the lazy route, or they can surprise us. So who knows? I don't really know. Who knows? I'm gonna clip it right here. I'm gonna wrap it up. So again, go ahead and like this video, comment, subscribe, send it to your friends. But let me know what you're looking forward to in this story, in this video game, and what you're not looking forward to, what you would love, and what you would kind of hate to see. Let me know. And again, if you don't do that, I promise you, your boyfriend or girlfriend will break up with you. Like, this is not a joke. They actually will. Seriously. Thank you so much for sticking around. And let me know your thoughts about Mitch and WB, because they have me very, very worried. Again, friends, but most importantly, stay awake, because woke clearly is not working. Stay safe, guys. Cheers.